Growth. Because if you're not growing, you're withering away, you're dying, and so is your business. If you don't get it together at this time of the year, which all of you say is the slower time, then when are you going to do it? So what we're going to talk about today is how in recent years the real estate market has consistently changed. Agents are frantic. They're still trying to keep up with interest rate hikes and price changes and dwindling listings and market unavailability and lack of inventory. The race to stay ahead is a very real challenge. And your challenge as a real estate professional is to understand how to adapt to it. I'm going to share my tips from years of doing this and years of coaching this now to how you, as a real agent, can actually consistently grow your business. We're going to dive into some actionable tips so you're going to have things to walk away with, resources that you can use, and insights that will help you thrive in an ever changing industry. So let's get cracking. First and foremost, we have gone through several classes about what type of real estate agent are you. I'm going to pull this one up for you. If you haven't had a chance to see it, you need to see it. This is what defines you as an agent, what kind of niche you should be working in. When you're looking on how to grow your real estate business, people need to know that they can trust your expertise. So you need to showcase it. Consider creating detailed neighborhood guides, information with local amenities, schools in the area. Walking scores are very popular. Local history. Focus on the neighborhood or another one that you appreciate and you know it exceptionally well. You can even preview some vacant listings that exist so you have a solid feel of the homes that are in that area. Again, work where you enjoy working. I don't expect you to cover the whole state. I don't even expect you to cover a whole city. But find those golden neighborhoods, the ones that you truly want to specialize in, so that you can use them as a prime example every single time you're talking to a client. I spoke to one agent one time who remarked that she had met another mother at a PTA meeting who mentioned about selling her house. The agent said, obviously, that she offered her services, ready to discuss the opportunity, but the client never heard back from her. The house was listed a month later. The agent was hurt, got all upset. What was offered to her as a potential client after the initial discussion, face fell off as she understand that she lost money by simply not picking up the phone and following up on that direct lead that she had created. She did the work. She did a social gathering. She actually met the client. They had genuine interest in working with a realtor, and all they had to do was show up, pick up the phone and follow up, send out an email and say, hey, remember that conversation we had? It's okay if that turns to rejection, by the way, but the fact that she didn't do it at all and it did end up being business for someone else, that's painful. It is your job as a real estate agent to elevate those conversations. They don't come up often. And when a hot lead falls in your lap, it is your cue to demonstrate that you have understanding of the market in the area and are an expert in your field, because they're going to recognize that if you didn't follow up before the business was created, what kind of communication are they going to get with you once you have a contract in hand? Remember, keep your conversations local, keep your conversations targeted. If you're going to need help on how to showcase expertise in an area, a simple phone call might be enough. There are some guides on real estate farming. I'm going to throw this one up in the corner as well. If you get a chance to see how to farm a golden neighborhood, how to choose one, go take a look at it. Great. This will set you up well for 2025. This will help you to become the go-to agent in a particular community. If you want more designs on how to educate your clients, we certainly have lots of them. You need to look back at all of our very relevant sessions this year so that you understand what the market is looking at and what the clients that we are working with today are actually asking for. So next, you need to focus on your lead generation efforts. The answer is always leads. If you're looking on how to grow a real estate business fast, and let me interrupt myself. if there's one thing I've seen as a coach, is that agents are especially prone to shiny penny syndrome. It's every month an agent has to try a new lead generation strategy, jumping from one tool to the next, never actually perfecting or learning how to use the one that they've already got, without seeing the process bloom into a sale, without actually committing to a plan. And believe me, if you don't commit yourself to a business plan, you're going to actually harm your ability to see the long term process. The shotgun approach, although hits all of the target, doesn't center in and doesn't actually capture the kind of business that you're truly wanting to specialize in. And it can cost you thousands of dollars thrown down the drain by the end of the year when you're putting all of your budget together. If you see yourself consistently focusing on just a couple of real estate strategies, I would say no more than three, because if there's a prime dozen, three is what you should be doing every single day as a part of your business strategy. And give it time. I personally prospect my sphere once a week. I host open houses. I farm neighborhoods every single month. And yes, that means digitally, that means with mailers, and that means I do some independent door knocking as well. But if you want to go the fully digital route, you can actually try a paid lead generation strategy. Don't forget, I don't like these. If you've been in the business long enough, there is no need for you to spend money on a lead generation system out there. There is a lot more of an indirect lead approach that's happening in the market today because people are scared. They're not out window shopping like they typically would be in a normal housing market. So we are using some of these digital and paid strategies to try to get more focused conversations in front of customers. Essentially, coax them out of the dark, coax them out of the basement so that we can have a real conversation with them. What I'm saying is that there is no one size fits all formula, but you know yourself and you know the business that you want to go after. So, trying out a new lead generation strategy every other month, unfortunately, is like throwing spaghetti at a wall. You have to make a commitment to a lead gen strategy or a lead pay for performance strategy for more than I would say 12 months before you can capitalize on it. And for most of the ones that are out there, if you get one deal out of all of the work you do over 12 months, it will typically at least pay for the strategy. And that should probably be your starting point as to whether or not it's going to work for you, whether or not it's going to work in your area that you've chosen also, and whether or not you've got the time and the energy to work with a pay for lead system. Because in a pay for lead system, when the lead's on the phone and the lead's available to talk, and like I said before, they've coaxed them out of the dark, you better be ready to get on that telephone you're paying $1,000 every other year for and make sure that you're having a conversation. Speaking of lead gens, there's my lead system right now popping up in the corner that I've got a new person in Pinellas that wants to talk about buying a home. They will get a call right after this. Next, get involved with a support network. A great brokerage is key. You being able to reach out to consistent people that don't necessarily think like you, but have been successful in the market are what's going to keep you motivated and generated. It's okay. You can get stuck in a rut so easily, but just by having efforts of being involved with others is sometimes enough to get you out of it. One of my agents this week just told me they're excited about us getting back to our monthly gatherings. We've got enough agents that are showing interest in getting together once a month. We call them our third Tuesday social. So for us, it's an exciting time for our agents to get together, be appreciated by the brokerage with a quick lunch or a late afternoon gathering so that everybody can enjoy a beer or a soda together and just share some stories and know that they're not alone out there in the market. We can be carved off on an island so often in this industry, thinking that we're all by ourselves until we get a contract on the hook, and then the whole brokerage is ready to pounce on there with you. At a In this type of scenario, what I'm talking about, your aim is to learn from other entrepreneurs that have these same experiences and get some socializing in there too. You can find all kind of professional referrals in there too if you decide to expand into a business group. Um, but if you're going to do business groups, you need to make sure that these are people that do interface into the real estate industry for you. So find an accountant, find a business planner, find an insurance broker. Good luck. But it's a good bet that you're going to find lots of recommendations that way. And they are a great lead source. And so are you. So you can kind of wash each other's hands, if you will. Plus, you might even garner a couple of clients together, which will be great for you guys to talk about at your next social gathering. How you generated a lead together, how you worked it together, and what was your strategy for a successful transaction. Look, if you're struggling to find a group, chances are you're struggling even harder to find clients. So, this is good practice for you to meet and greet and interface with people. You need it. Your business needs it, and people need to care about who you are. Next, you need to prioritize your client's experience. What's so special about working with you? What do you provide that other agents don't? In commercial business, we call it the differentiator. Offering your clients a white glove service, for example, would help you build a lot of lasting relationships. It's the key to boosting real estate through referrals. And if you only have to tend to one or two clients at a time, this is easy to do. Consistent, maybe overly consistent phone calls and the capability of talking to more people more often is the type of service that they're looking for. Ask them, what would be a top notch service for you? What can I offer you that you are looking for to make this an exceptional experience for you? Take time to reach out to those clients. According to the NAR, 73% of sellers noted that they would use their same agent again, and it's because of the work that they did during the transaction. 50% of those said that they didn't because they never heard from their agent again. So the follow-up strategy, the referral strategy, the consistent clients become forever clients strategy is critical. You need to have at minimum, a weekly scheduled call where you let them know how many showings were completed if they're a listing agent. If they're buyers, how many homes that you have looked for that are close to or maybe not quite fitting the bill for what they are wanting. Are you helping them in their search? Or are you just turning them over to Zillow and say, give me a call when you find something you like? Trust me, they're going to figure out pretty quick that the internet helped them find a home and not their agent. And don't forget about referrals. You need to remember that referrals and repeat clients are the number one way to generate business just after being in the industry for a few years. Same study that I talked about earlier, 36% of clients found their agent because it was referred. 27% worked with their agent previously. So constant building of a referral network is critical. But if you don't do it right the first time, there is no way you're going to get a second chance. There are lots of different tools out there that keep you in touch with your clients. If you're not using a CRM, get out of the business. At this point in the game, there is no way that you are consistently talking to your client sphere on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis, if you don't have a CRM reminding you. Trust me, time gets away from you. If my mother wouldn't send me a message every single week, I would forget that it has been a week since I talked to my own mother. So, clients, you're keeping me busy and I love you for it, but that means that some of my clients are going to get forgotten if it wasn't for my CRM talking to them when I'm asleep so that my business is working for me and making sure that I'm top of mind and giving me reminders. It's time to call Tom and Betty this week. Let's talk a little bit about organic growth and team building. You do not need to start with a team to be successful in real estate. However, you need access to people. You need access to those that can help keep you motivated. No difference than going to a gym. People don't go to a gym because they can't make themselves motivate. And a group is necessary to help keep them going every single day. Yes. And there's a consistent amount of harassment involved in that too. That's why a lot of people feel like they have to work at a brokerage that has a live office or that has constant staff meetings so that they can pretend to show up for a job every day when we all know they're just sitting around sucking up the free coffee and making it an arts and crafts opportunity. In fact, it's recommended that you don't bring on team members until absolutely necessary, right? It cuts into your budgeting, it cuts into the way you do your business, and it ends up at some point being a fight. The band simply won't stay together. The way that you will mature, even though you're part of a team, will be in different directions. You definitely live in different places. You will have different strategies. And because you don't own the company, chances are you're not dedicated to one person's strategy over your own. Investing in lead generation with a team can get very expensive, and you can feel like sometimes you're the low person on the totem pole or not the highest producer. The highest producer can get to the point where they feel slighted because everyone else isn't pulling the same type of weight. If everyone else was, then look at all of the millions of dollars they would be generating together. In other words, organic growth is the way to go. You need to define where you want to go. We've talked about that in several sessions. If you want to be a managing broker ultimately, or you want to be a team leader ultimately, then set your sights on that, set your goal on it, work with someone that has done it and done it successfully, and follow that person's advice, even if it means walking off the end of the boat. Real estate groups and real estate brokerages are hard enough to grow. But the hardest part is maintaining the staff levels, maintaining the real estate agent levels, and making sure that the agents that are on board are there because you're giving them the best quality of service too, and not just because they're afraid of change and won't leave the brokerage. However, you still have to know yourself first. If you're looking for tools to help you get started on building a team, there's lots of them out there. I'd recommend using solutions that help you set up yourself for success first so that you can be the shining example. There are some great comprehensive solutions out there. If I had to promote one and one that is really pushing themselves into the forefront with the AI strategy inside of real estate today, I would say check out Cinc, CINC. They are a top-rated Teams platform, and they put together ads and run them for you while bringing in leads and distributing them in a nice round-robin fashion and an availability fashion for a team. If you're going to pay for a lead gen platform like Zillow, for example, also very well team-based. It does a nice round-robin strategy too, and if someone hasn't contacted the lead within a certain amount of time, it reshuffles the deck and sends the lead to someone else because it understands the importance of that. Look, I have known plenty of agents that are more happy to be superstars doing, 10, 15 transactions a year. They love helping their clients. They love staying busy. I've met agents who are team members and who are incredibly successful, making upwards of, $100,000 a year plus, and that's GCI, and they love the team camaraderie. They wouldn't dream of leaving the team to strike out on their own, but you're going to find that the balance has to work for you to be a part of one strategy or another. Ultimately, still, what gets you up in the morning and gets you treating this like not just entrepreneurship, but like a business is what's going to keep you going. Reason bakers make it is because they understand that if they don't show up to work at 3 o'clock in the morning and actually start creating baked goods to sell, they won't have any goods on the shelf. The goods on the shelf spoil, they expire, they get cleaned out every couple of days, and they must make new baked goods on a daily basis. Otherwise, their business is over, quite literally overnight. Treat your real estate business like a bakery. Get in there and do some fresh prospecting every single day. Stop making excuses. Set yourself up for success for 2025 simply by building good habits in yourself. If you're going to go through and build a New Year's resolution, it's get up and get your ass to work. There you go. There's your resolution. Every single day, my ass will be out of the chair and on a phone, or my ass will be out in public talking to clients and generating direct leads and generating a positive reputation for myself. Because nothing will motivate you more than a client going, I am so glad you introduced yourself while simply filling up a tank with gas. Anybody that's known me for more than a minute knows that I love to lean back on my gas station story. That's one of my favorite clients that I've ever worked with, and one of the coolest stories that I've ever leveraged in gathering more business from it. Next thing you got to do is you've got to create a supportive culture. A supportive culture is your pillar, and it's how your business is actually going to grow. When you're looking into brokerages, the culture's got to fit. It needs to be your biggest consideration. The availability of the broker, the knowledge of the broker, the activity of the broker, not 20 years ago, today, needs to matter, needs to be relevant, and it's got to be something that you attach to. Otherwise, there will be a feeling of isolation with you in this business. A supportive community, like-minded real estate agents that will help you brainstorm. Those are the type of suggestions that you're going to find group activities for that's going to keep you going. If you need some help with those, I suggest that you talk to your local real estate association and find out where their groups are meeting. When I started, I joined a very fast growing, in presence, in person, new agent centric brokerage. But I struggled to find a sense of community. It ended up being so many people with the shotgun approach that I talked about at the beginning of the class, looking for the bright, shiny niche because they didn't know what they were going to do next. It became very difficult. Ultimately, I was fortunate in my career very early on. I know how to hustle. That created a nice cloud of energy around me. So I built a group very, very quickly. And we, as teams, talked every single day. The agents that are with me at my brokerage now are the same. We love to talk. We love to talk through problems. We love to talk and keep each other energized. We like to just get on the phone and bullshit occasionally, just to know that we're not alone out there. These are important things. We have people that show up at the house and show up and spend time with me in the office every single week just because they want to be around some energy. They want to talk through some ideas, and I care, and I will sit there with them while we walk through those things together. Look, you can only tell your friends and family you're a real estate agent so many times before you actually have to get out there and prove it. Partnerships. Building a strategic partnership in real estate will go a long way of doing business for you. Referrals do not just come from clients. They often come from the relationships that you have built inside of the industry. Get to know your preferred lenders, your title reps, your inspectors, your insurance brokers. These kinds of partnerships will help you extend your opportunity and your reach. And yeah, if that means some exclusivity in partnership is needed, do it. They're going to love working for you, knowing that every time you get a client, you're going to mention their name. One or two of those deals are going to come right back to you. Partners like this are going to extend opportunities and extend your reach into the market. It doesn't really matter if every real estate agent knows you. It needs to be everybody that helps wash the hands of real estate business in the industry. They know you. Plus, working with partners on some co-branded strategy, client appreciation events over at the local community center can create huge opportunities for both of you. You can share the cost plus the leads. Great thing about having a network like this is that you can lean on those relationships for your clients too. It becomes a concierge service that you go over and above, because not only have you worked with these people, but they've done exceptional work and you don't mind actually referring business to them. A network like this is going to grow over time. It's very competitive, so you'll have a situation where your friends want to be more friends and kind of bump other friends out. It's always fun to watch. But if you work with an amazing title company, note it. Put it on your CRM whenever you're leaving that behind with them. Connect on social media. Find ways to recognize them for doing such a great job. This will also tie into prioritizing your client experience. You're going to be so excited to introduce them to all the right people, the I got a guy thoughts, that you won't stop giving them additional advice on how you can make more opportunities for them to be successful in this transaction. The biggest strategy hinge out there, that's the right way to put it, is effective time management. And I say a hinge because it either ties things together so that you can have activity, or it'll come unhinged and things simply won't work the way that you hoped they would. And that's because of time management. And it's a skill, it's something you need to learn, it's something you've got to practice. Working for yourself is an amazing boon for a lot of agents. Most of us came from industry. Most of us came from big corporate jobs and just get tired of working for everybody else. But it's why many of us went into this field. The flexibility and the control over our work hours and the productivity is freezing. It will be an anchor for you. And that anchor means you're either going to be stuck in place because you can't get it together, or it's going to hold you firmly where you're supposed to be. So without time management, I got a feeling it's going to be the former. Time management, well, this industry in general requires an insane amount of hustle, grit, determination. You got to make yourself motivated every single day. And even then, you can lose your motivation as a realtor. Yeah, you work for yourself, but it doesn't mean that you only work when you have a client. Take a look what a sketched out schedule might even look like. I have clients who block out their entire day on Monday just to follow up with feedback. I've got people that I work with on negotiating skills and how they send out weekly emails to keep people moving for prospecting. There are people that block out, half an hour every single morning to check emails and an hour every single day just for lunch. Otherwise, they won't get it. You need to understand how to time block. I have another session on that as well. It's called Are You Busy or Are You Business? It's probably one of my most successful classes. If you get a chance to find it in our archives, please do. I do host that class every single year. This year coming up in 2025, I'll be hosting it in person. We're going to have shirts, swag, etc. So reach out to me for an invite and let's make sure that you can be a part of it. But without appropriate scheduling, without knowing what your business activity plan is for every single day, it's going to get away from you. The interruptions alone in the industry will get away from you. Planning your week, I highly recommend it, and blocking it out, not task based, but time blocks. I need 2 hours in the morning to do this every single day or every other day. I need 2 hours in the afternoon to do this every single day or every other day, because otherwise it will not get done. It's one of those things I don't like doing, so it'll constantly get put off. So make it part of your activity plan. I am sure you have heard of the Pomodoro technique. For those who struggle with focus, setting a time to break your work into individuals so that you can achieve tasks can be revolutionary for you. It's not like a shopping list where you've got all of these things that you have to accomplish. There's several free tools and online calendaring services that can help you through the Pomodoro technique. It is great to use the time blocking system, and it guarantees that the things that are most important to your business are getting done. New business, old business, interrupted business is all part of it, but you've got to make sure those things are scheduled. Most importantly to that would have to be financial planning. You need to focus on how to grow your real estate business. And the financial planning is so important for agents, especially if they are used to being regular salaried employees. Remember, you're now running your own business. So you've got to ensure that you're setting aside money, you're budgeting appropriately for taxes, reinvestment dollars into your business, etc. You need to ask yourself, What's my financial goal for the year? Once you have that goal, you can work backwards to determine how many homes you need to sell to meet that annual gross commission income, your AGCI. Very important that you work all of those things. I mean, let's just assume that there is a wheel of things that are important for you: your health, your finance, your career, your family, your individual growth, and your spiritual growth as well, relationships, social life. All of these things are a great big spinning wheel, and it shouldn't be a I close my eyes and I point my finger and that's the one that gets my attention today. You should be able to utilize your financial strategies to make sure that you have time and financial capability for all these things. That's the reason that you went into business for yourself. You have to balance this with why you entered real estate to begin with. Every single agent is different, right? So, what was your goal originally? Was it to start a team? Was it to set aside time for your family? Was it to be a resource so that you can do exactly what I do on Saturday mornings and coach and spread your knowledge and try to enhance the career life of others? There can be some excellent ways to holistically evaluate your situation, make absolutely sure that you can focus on your energies, and you can download some of these Wheel of Fortune techniques that are out there to make sure that you can keep your life focused and financially focused on your goals. A lot of people use the dream boards, etc., whatever it takes, so that you have a visual representation of your needs and requirements to be successful. Needs to be in front of your face every single day. If you're a teacher, if you're a coach, if you are someone that has done the business, has done it well, and can now teach others how to do it well, if you understand knowledge and grasp it quickly and can communicate it well to others, you are where you are in your career because of those successes. Brainstorming with someone that knows the industry can actually help you identify what works and why. Coaching can help you unlock those potentials and maximize your growth too. When you find the right coach yourself, and return on investment is almost always worth it, this allows this person to help mentor and guide you through what you couldn't see around the corners for some missing elements that might be in your business because they've done it. They've broken it down to a process that they can easily repeat for you to rinse and repeat the same way. Um, Tons and tons of coaches offerings for you. I personally believe that your broker, that's their primary job, is to make sure they can coach and keep you on track and keep you out of trouble, be able to answer your questions quickly and be available to be able to help you create a smooth transaction for your client. No client is going to get pissed off if you pick up your phone and say, hey, you know what? That's a good question. I know there have been some legal changes in this, or there have been some process changes of late. Let's get my broker on the phone real quick and let's make sure that we're all on the same page on how this should be handled today. A relevant conversation with your broker is going to make or break sometimes the relationship you have with your client. And if your broker cannot communicate well or cannot be available, and you get on the phone and they hem haw around and they just bullshit their way through what the answer is, shame on them. You shouldn't be working with them to begin with. And if they're going to be a career impedance, it's time for you to look elsewhere. Think about it. Everything that you have successfully done in life has had some type of coaching involved, whether it was Little League, whether it was while you were in school, or whether it was you deciding to become a real estate agent. Great coaches can be objective, they will give you feedback, they will hold you accountable, and their expertise is priceless. A lot of the big coaches out there have 90-day programs if you're interested in paying for those. But again, I think if you truly want to supercharge your career and you want to do the best work, it needs to be with an integrated coach and broker that you actually work with. They're going to teach you how to not only build your business quickly, but how to build it in a way that the brokerage can support it and help you with marketing and help you with communications and how you're handling your multimedia strategy effectively. If you're looking for a very tech forward solution, there are lots of those out there too. I have jumped on and tried some free trials from some of the online groups that are out there as I've expanded my coaching business outside of Keystone and allowed myself to be kind of a company agnostic and allow people to understand that this is about the real estate industry too. So I've certainly checked out and seen what's been effective for others too. Which brings you to diversification. You need to be able to diversify your offerings. You're not just working for you and you're not just working for a brokerage. You're working for an entire industry. And for you to be able to follow an industry at a national level, at a state level, or even at a local level beyond your brokerage to make sure that you're doing things right and doing things well is critical and paramount for you to be able to continue to be successful. In lean stages of the calendar, like now during the holidays, you have got to be able to pivot and adapt your business. You can turn to rentals, for example, during leaner months. I've seen agent pivots to do some mortgage broker referring in these times of the year, where we've done we've done classes before on what side hustles that your real estate license can help you with. It's funny because most of us got into the business and real estate was our side hustle. When we got really successful at it, this became the primary job, and we're always looking to do something else to help supplement the real estate lead generation that we do. Whether it's vacation rentals or probate sales or finding some type of profitable niche, actually. Another creative solution that I have find agents trying to offer themselves is a menu of services, right? Whether they're going to do a standard professional photography, if they want to do some additional drone works. I've heard all kinds of things to help supplement not just their business and save some of the costs of their business, but be able to put a cost forward service to other real estate agents, and it helped them because they see things through the same real estate lens that others do, not just a photographer. I gave you a lot of points to do. I gave you a lot of things that you need to consistently work into your business strategy and your day-to-day operations. There's one thing I'm going to tell you not to do, one thing I'm going to tell you to avoid in this industry, it's inaction. While you read and while you educate yourself, while you attend these classes on how is fantastic, nothing is going to take place on actually acting on your intentions. An object in motion stays in motion. Start with time blocking, just a few activities. Once you have a sense of accomplishment, let's drive it forward. Once you find a niche, then you build it to 2. Then you build it to 3. Don't overwhelm yourself. Stick to 3 things that you know and you like in the real estate industry out of the Big 12. Find those, use them, and work them every single day into your business. Agents are consistently victims of having blinders on when serving a current client. Your clients should always come first, but do not neglect your business just because you have a buyer on the hook. You need a pipeline mentality. Clients come and go. Clients fall out of the contract. Clients fall into contract. You must be able to consistently adapt your schedule. Continue to prospect. Always nurture and build relationships. In this market, it is critical that you consistently showcase your expertise and that be the foundation of your business and your success. That is not where the journey ends. It's the dance between lead generation and the power of your support network, the actions that you take that will consistently propel you forward. I'm going to leave you today with a quote from Dale Carnegie. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, don't sit at home and think about it. Get out there and get busy. Have a great day, everybody. Look forward to seeing the new offerings that you are generating for your 2025 year. Be on the lookout for the Are You Busy or Are You Business webinar that's coming up soon. We look forward to seeing all of you there, and have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye now. Recording has stopped.